Hey gang, Jones here, back with another video here today, and today we're going to talk about Delta Force, its release date, and some other stuff that goes along with it. Sorry about my voice, I am sick, so I do apologize about that. Let's get straight into it. So, Delta Force has announced the window of their early access release date, which is only going to come on PC, and that'll be in Q4 of 2024. Now, their full launch is not going to be until Q1 of 2025. Now, we can also narrow down what I believe to be the game's early access launch date, and that being during the Steam's Fest in October from the 14th to the 21st. I believe that they'll either just launch the game on the 14th and just continue on through the Steam Next Fest, or they'll release it like a week after that, just so they can get more data from people playing it on Steam and then be able to like polish up new stuff like a week after. So, like the start of November basically is when they release it. I would imagine that would be the PC window release date. There's been a ton of people requesting controller support for the early access. Not sure if that's going to happen or not. I would imagine so, just based on the fact that their full launch is going to be in Q1 2025. So I wouldn't imagine that being too big of a deal. So I would hope they would have controller support during then. I know there's some people have played it with controller. I've seen online and stuff like that. But for full support, and you don't have to worry about like a bunch of wonky things, I would imagine they would have that when early access does actually release in Q4 of this year. The reason why I don't see this game waiting too long to release, like either during Steam Fest or after that, is because the game's done very well. Like a lot of people have got on and said this is better than Battlefield currently right now. I enjoy the Battlefield mode. I mostly play the extraction mode, but the game's done very, very well. You get in the game, it's very easy to run for me. I mean, I have a pretty decent computer, but like it's easy to run. There's not a lot of hiccups with it. I get tons of frames. Now, there has been some issues with some of my friends. They'll get into the game and then they'll drop out of the game and then they won't be able to get in, won't be able to move. That happens like every once in a blue moon, or it will happen on the first game that they get into actually play. So they did release this trailer, and I'll play it in the background as I'm talking about it. But they did change their name to Delta Force Hawk Ops and then just changed it to Delta Force. And I think it's like homage to the games way back when. I never actually played them, but it's homage to the whole series as a whole instead of like saying Delta Force Hawk Ops. And I feel like everybody that actually played it anyway just called it Delta Force anyway, or DF, or whatever it may be. They didn't really say Hawk Ops with it because there's no other game named Delta Force in like the current, era of games, I guess you should say. So that's cool news. Obviously, one of the biggest news from everything we've ever heard is about the monetization system. So they have came out and said, we will not have pay to win elements. I think that's one of the biggest things, especially coming from Tencent and like the ABI difficulties that they are going to be struggling with because they've made the economy just so hard to progress that they want people to swipe a credit card. It's nice to see that they're not going to do that, or at least they say they're not. I mean, I guess they could go back on their word, but coming out and saying point blank that we are not going to have pay to win elements in the game, I hope they stick to that because I really, really do enjoy the game. I think it's a very, very good game. I think it's a game where you can dive into extraction shooters and not have to like give your life away to be good at it, or at least enjoy it. And it's very friendly with the UI. The UI and the menu's terrible, but like going into the map itself and using the map and going around, it's very, very cool and very, very nice to see all the objectives and different missions you can do. And it's very easy to move around the map. You don't have to worry about like, oh, can I go here? Can I go here? Can I go here? You can just look up on the map and see where you need to go, get this quest done, and turn those in. So finally, Delta Force is coming to consoles. So it's coming to PC consoles and mobile. Now, they said console news soon, but what I would imagine is I don't know how you have a Q1 2025 full launch without every single system they said the game will be on. So if you have a full launch in Q1 2025, I don't know how you don't have PC, console, and mobile ready to go for the full launch. It doesn't really make much sense to me to have quote unquote a full launch without all the systems there. So I would imagine it is coming in Q1 2025. I would also assume it's just coming to next gen consoles. I couldn't imagine it being on the older consoles just because of the new gaming and stuff like that. The game runs very, very well on PC, but I would imagine they're just going to stick to next gen consoles. Now, game is going to be crossplay. I hope there is a toggle button so it satisfies both parties because there's people that's like, I don't want to play with PC players or I don't want to play against aim assist, whatever it may be. I hope there's just a toggle button so it just satisfies both crowds. I love that it's crossplay because I have several friends on console that I want to play with and I want to get their feet into extraction shooters because it's such a cool genre of game. And being able to have that toggle option satisfies both parties. Two birds with one stone, if you will. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for you right now. With that being said, I'm Jones and I'm out. Peace.